Welcome to Teach the Teller. I've got another fun story today. I'm trying to decide whether I want to do it about the items or I want to do it about the story. So today I'm going to combine both. This is an item that my mother had and cherished from her great aunt and had for over 100 years, and I inherited it when she passed on. It's very heavy, and there shouldn't be any felt on the bottom. Has lots of really nice Asian markings on it, and very heavy, and always came in a pair of two. So while you're guessing what it is, I'll tell you a little story about my mother. My mother was really quite an interesting lady. She used to make a meatloaf that I've tried to make for over 20 years. And the meatloaf would be so tight when it was cold the next day, she could cut it tissue paper thin with a knife. And I've taken her recipe and tried to make it for 20 years, and I can never make it like that. Turns out the one thing I was missing on the recipe, she was grinding up filet mignon and that 80-20 ground beef. Made a big difference, but it took me 20 years to figure that out. I'll tell another story about my mother and cooking. I will tell you, when I married my wife, she was Italian, and so my mother, we would always go over to my mother's house. She lived in Orange Grove in Pasadena, so we'd always go to the Rose Parade. And at the Rose Parade, after the Rose Parade was over, we'd go back to her house and we'd have a New Year's Day dinner. And she always made a prime rib, which was wonderful. And because my wife was Italian, they decided they'd have pasta. Well, my wife didn't quite understand. My pasta had always been what my mother had made, what I thought my mother had made, unless we ate out. My mother served, if you can imagine, Chef Boyardee's pasta out of a can. And my wife was so gracious not to say anything that took about 10 years for her. She said, I hope we're not going to your mother's to have Chef Boyardee pasta. I would like real al dente pasta. So anyway, this item was my mother's. Always came in a pair of two. It's Bedouin, and it's actually a stirrup, a horse stirrup, that they would hand down from generation to generation. And it's about the size of my hand, big, heavy thing, but it would never wear out, and they would hang it from their leather saddles. Thank you so much for looking. Have a great day.